Yo, people, lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for the London Club's Carnage weekly show. And last time I was chatting to these boys, a whole heap of madness was going on. I'm laughing, yeah, because the chat. Brother said, Matisse missing like my dad. I was like, raw.
Wow, who said that?
Someone in the chat said that, fam. I'll put it up on the screen. The reason why we're late is because of Toby. Everybody blame Toby. You know what I'm saying?
It was Toby's fault. We were live.
But yeah, man, it's been a wild week since we all last spoke. We was actually just talking off air with this topic, and I was like, you know what? Let's just straight roll up into it. We were speaking about obviously the timing of Jose Mourinho sacking, with the announcement of the Euro Super League. The two must be correlated. I'm sorry, there's no way in hell that people are going to try and tell me that there's no correlation. And we're just talking about Toby and teasing them, saying, listen, Ryan Mason might be your interim manager, but I don't know if Levy can afford to bring in a new man anyway in the summer. You might have to stick with a cheaper option, fam. How are you feeling after all of that? Because Jose Mourinho sacked, so you're on a high, innit? No one.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that, bro. I'm happy about that. Jose Mourinho sacked. It was coming. It was a long time coming. Yeah, people look at it from a timing point of view and think it's weird because we had a cup final we have a cup final on Sunday, but he should have been sacked months ago. He should have been sacked weeks and months ago. How many times have I said it on London Carnage? He should have been gone time ago. So me personally, it sounds weird, but we have a better chance of putting in a more capable performance without Jose Mourinho in the final than we would have with him. It's the truth, and the thing is, people will
that's got to be a wind-up, man.
It's not a wind-up, though. It's not a wind-up.
You had more chance of winning it with a manager who's won it before, bruv. Come on,
bro. I don't think we're winning it anyway. With or without Jose Mourinho. I don't think we're winning it anyway. But what I'm saying is
null and void now because Jose's not the manager.
No, it's not null and void. It's not null and void. That bet's still standing, bro. But
is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was on Jose being the manager and Jose winning it.
Lee, you're fucked now, bro.
He's in charge, man. That's like never managed a game in his life.
I don't know if Ryan Mason's gonna be able to pull out a masterclass like that.
I'll get onto Ryan Mason in a second, but like as I said. We've been terrible for months, bar like a 2-week period in March. We've been terrible for months. And I watched you lot's game against Man City on Saturday.
Yeah.
They weren't at their best, but you were good. Like you were very good. I felt you were organized, you limited their chances, and you looked threatening on the break.
No one's tweeting me up this early.
No, it's the truth. You were good. But what I'm saying to you is our Spurs capable of putting that performance with Jose Mourinho currently? No, we weren't. And anyone who says, "Oh, yes, they were," you simply haven't been watching us the last 4 or 5 months because it's been shit performance after shit performance after shit performance after shit performance. So for me, heading into this final that I don't expect us to win anyway, I would much rather see us play that final without Jose Mourinho in the dugout. Whether it's Ryan Mason, whether it's Chris Powell, whether it's Ledley King, etc., etc. As long as he's not in the dugout, it makes it better for us. It makes it better. So,
do you think like Scott Parker would be a good? Because everybody's kind of like, because again, when we look at Tottenham now, after this Super League crash out, you guys again, I'm not going to start this like who left first and all this shit. Everybody joined up. As far as I'm concerned, if I'm sure Corey won't be thinking that you guys are Saints. You left, yeah, cool. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody joined up. Everybody chased the same bag. Yes, Perez set it up and the Glazers and Kroenke were maybe at the head of it and really wanted it. But at the end of the day, for me, as soon as you decide to join, when you come out, you should probably face you should be facing some sort of sanction. There should be some sort of punishment. So all these guys ducking out now, cool, but everybody should be facing some sort of punishment, in my opinion, because it was a disgrace to the game. But also, do you feel like Scott Parker or someone, do you feel like you're gonna have to go to someone like that because of the money issues? No? You're going to still chase those big time managers that you're...
I think we'll chase the big time managers for sure. I don't think we'll get Nagelsmann. I think that's a pipe dream. He's going to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
I think Brendan Rodgers, who I would really love, is unrealistic as well. So I think we have to look at sort of like the next tier the next tier down.
Scott Parker then.
I say tier. It's not really tier. I've mentioned him a couple times. Ralph Hasenhuttl. I know he's not had a good couple of months, but as a footballing coach, he looks good. I've seen us linked with Maurizio Sarri. Call it stubbornness, call it him being stuck in his ways in some specific aspects that he had at Chelsea. But
I think he would do well for you.
This is what I'm saying. But fundamentally, he's a good manager.
Yeah.
He's a good manager who actually who puts in a good footballing structure on the pitch. His teams, well, obviously Chelsea, you lot were boring a couple times, but yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But like he plays possession-based football. Yeah.
His thing is a very long-term investment. Like, if you're gonna go with Sarri, that's something that 3-4, like 2-3 years, you're gonna see the rewards of the style of play.
So we just need managers who are good coaches and are good at and are capable of getting squeezing quality out of the squad they had available. Like Maurizio Sarri, I'm not even saying he's the outstanding manager for Spurs, but I wouldn't be mad at Spurs going for Sarri. We just need a good footballing manager. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it doesn't. It's not no disrespect to Scott Parker, but the job is bigger than Scott Parker. The job is bigger than Graham Potter now. Like you can laugh all you want. I'm not even trying to.
Yeah. I'm just letting it go. I'm going to say my piece in a bit.
You can see the job is bigger than theirs. Like let's not beat around. Let's not beat around the bush. Like prior to this season, we were a side that were in the Champions League, like 4 seasons on the trot. We were top 4 sides in the league in terms of league finishes. This is a job that's had Maurizio Pochettino, who's now at PSG, and has had Jose Mourinho. How can we go from that to Scott Parker? The job is bigger than there, so we need someone with experience, and we need, as I said, a good manager, and an experienced manager. So if we can tick some of those boxes and get the right footballing structure in place, we see us apparently being reported to bring in like a sporting director. If we can sort of move Daniel Levy away from the footballing decisions and keep him on the business side and actually start having the willingness to spend, start having the willingness to bring in the right players, start having the willingness to get rid of the players that the manager doesn't want, and start and getting things all aligned in terms of how the manager wants to play, what type of players the manager likes at the club, then it's a step forward. So, yeah.
Lee, what's your take on that? Because I personally do think.
And Ten Hag as well. Ten Hag is another one I mentioned. I would like him as well. So,
yeah,
we have to go for it.
Toby's just said that we need that Tottenham. He said your words. We need to go for a top class manager. You then named Brendan Rodgers, and said he's not going to be available for us. I don't think. You mentioned Nagelsmann. He's just the hipster's choice. I don't really get why people rate him as highly as they do. And then you said you need to go for the next tier down. So that is the Graham Potters. That is the Scott Parkers.
That isn't the Graham Potters.
That is the Hasenhuttls, which you said. Graham Potter's mad underrated. So Scott Parker. Just because they're doing it at teams that are down in the bottom of the table, don't mean they're not good managers. And let me just say something. Let me just say this as well. You said you need a top class manager. You just sacked one. That's the biggest name and biggest manager, one that's won multiple trophies everywhere. That is the biggest name you will ever have manage your football club. Where have you had this long history of having top class managers?
Lee, I never said top class manager. I said we need a good footballing manager.
No, you said right at the beginning, top class manager, and then says somebody like Brendan Rodgers and Nagelsmann. Yeah,
they're good managers though. They're good footballing coaches, bro.
Yeah, but that's my point, Toby, yeah? You have just sacked a manager that is one of the greatest managers we've ever seen in this country. Yeah, probably in Europe, probably in the world ever. He's in the conversation anyway. He's not the best, but he's one of the best, yeah? Where are you going to go and replace that? And then you're talking about Sarri. Sarri didn't win a single trophy in 30 years of management until he went to Chelsea.
You won one at Chelsea.
Yeah, then he went to Juve and won one and got sacked. You really want that at your club?
Well, he got sacked to Juve because Ronaldo is the big investment there. He wasn't going to tailor to his tactics. So,
Lee, anything
you've seen the drop off for Juventus since he's left. Yeah. So
the drop off is because they gave the job to a rookie who never managed a football match in his life. It's like the same as the drop off with us. All of a sudden, we've gone from 5th to 10th. Yeah, anyone who doesn't have experience is going to drop off because they're useless and they don't know what they're doing. They haven't got the know-how to do that. Yeah, Tottenham will not get a manager.
Jose has the know-how. Yeah.
We've just all agreed that Jose is one of the most successful and best managers we've ever seen.
But what does that have to do with? What does that have to do with his current performance as a manager, bro?
Yeah.
What does you said that you've been in the Champions League 4 years in a row and blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah, I said the job is bigger than Scott Parker, bro. I'm not saying that we have a god. We have a.
Why do you think that?
What do you mean? Why do I think that? Scott Parker's only managed. He's literally only just managing a Premier League club this season, bro.
Okay. Graham Potter managed Osterson 3 years ago, mate. Look how well he's doing in the Premier League.
He's not doing that well. They've been fighting relegation. They've been fighting relegation 2 years.
What are you talking? Bruv, come on. This is Brighton with Danny Welbeck and Malpai up front. They've scored about 7 goals less than us. Lee. They've conceded about 6 less than us.
I like Graham Potter. I like Graham Potter. I like Graham Potter. I think he's a talented manager, and I think he's only going to get better and better and better. But what I'm saying is he doesn't have the experience that we need. Yeah, he has the footballing ideals, of course. I like that, but he doesn't have the experience that we need.
The guy with the most experience in the league has just been sacked. Then for what reason?
He didn't have the football quality, bro.
Well, you need to make your mind up what you want, Tobs. You either want experience.
I just told you what I wanted. I just told you what I wanted. All experience with no actual football instruction on the pitch means nothing to me. Otherwise, I would have kept him in the job. It means nothing to me. What good is it him being arguably the greatest manager of his generation if you can't coach us how to play properly? If you can't coach us how to keep the ball.
Let me ask you this, yeah? What's your expectations for Tottenham every season? When the season starts, what is your expectations to where you want to finish and whether you should win anything? What is your expectations?
What do you mean? What, like every season? It
depends. No, say the season that just started, that we're on now, the one that started last summer. What was your expectations for the season?
Hope finishing in the top 4 and winning a trophy. That was my expectation.
Okay, so you're still in a trophy.
Yeah.
And you could still get top 4. We had this conversation 2 weeks ago. Yeah. You've sacked him. Cool, he's gone. See you later. But that's my point. Your whole target is we'll try and win a trophy and we'll get top 4. If you want to have that mentality, mate, you will end up very quickly like Arsenal. Yeah. That your stadium will be half empty. You'll be booing players every fucking week. Yeah, it's true. This is facts. I've been there. I've witnessed. Oh, let's finish third loser every week. Yeah, if that is the philosophy and the mentality, you will not ever win the league,
bro. Who is asking for that every week? This is the issue. This is the issue. This is why some of our fans want Daniel Levy out, because there needs to be a progression.
But I was about to ask that. With this whole Euro Super League, is that who are you chasing as to? Because everybody seems to be at their club have one guy that needs to leave their club because of the whole trying to join the Euro Super League. Chelsea, I'm not sure who we pin it on. It seems like a lot of people have gone with Bruce Buck. I don't know who made that decision. I know it wasn't Roman. I know he didn't sign off on it because he doesn't run operations. So
why wouldn't he sign off on it? He's the owner.
You sure?
No, in terms of him,
he's the owner. Of course he knows. Why wouldn't he sign off?
I'm sure he knew about it, but I know he wasn't the.
Well, there you go then. So when I see your fans protesting, I think on Chelsea.
So you mean to tell me when managers get sacked, Roman wields the axe, but when a footballing decision of this magnitude gets made, he's not the one that's involved. Of course he's involved.
They can't slag off Roman. He gave him a lifeline. They were about to go under, bro. He brought them. When they're all jumping around like clowns outside fucking Stamford Bridge and check out to get them out of the way, yeah, and they're giving it, we want our Chelsea back. Should we get Ken Bates back then, shall we? Yeah? Ken Bates, yeah? We'll go down that route again, because that's your Chelsea. None of them have a fucking clue about Chelsea, bruv. They just wanted to go down there to get their face on TV.
Listen, we're the reason why you're out there. You're Super League.
No, you're not. You're not. The same energy you have with Roman, because I know for a fact you don't want him out.
No, I don't want him out.
I know for a fact your fan base don't want him out. Your fan base don't want out any, despite the uproar.
I'm not gonna sit here and allow you guys to put Kroenke and Henry and Woodward and Glazers and Perez on the same level as I'm not doing that. That's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do that. I'm not doing that. Everybody with half a brain cell knows that Chelsea and Man City were the most fragile teams in this thing. Everybody knows that.
But the
It's
sheer audacity of both of your
okay, 100%. That's what I'm saying.
You come out like an absolute breeze when you flooded 100%. The Premier League and raised transfer fees every summer by paying over the odds.
They should 100% be sanctioned.
The audacity of your fan base, man.
Everybody should be sanctioned, deducted points.
Your fan base are it's funny. You came in with mega riches and you literally spent your way to the top, and
that's why I said I was against the European Super League, because I understand that we were not always a big club, one of the big six. Do you know what I'm saying? When I spoke to you, bro, you was like, I can't lie, it's not bad living. You know what I'm saying? Lee, I don't know what your stance was on the European Super League, but
I couldn't give a toss either way because my club's been dead and buried for 15 years, mate. Yeah, and let's have it right here. Let's have it right. 2 of our clubs, mine and Toby's clubs, were part of the 5 that set up the Premier League as a breakaway, yeah? David Dean, our vice chairman at the time, is the founder of the Premier League we all play in. Yeah, Arsenal fans go on about we're classy this, we're classy that. Why did David Dean break away and do a Premier League? Oh yeah, money. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? They're hypocrites. Every single person I've seen on TV, every single pundit, every single fan telling people trust the process, but then want to rock up and jump around on Friday at a protest. Number one, there's a pandemic you were telling everyone we couldn't spend in. Yeah, and it's killing people and this and that. So why are you all going and jumping around like dickheads without social distancing then? Yeah, because you obviously didn't care about the pandemic in the first place. Number 2, you told me trust the fucking process and hid behind that pandemic, which was meaning that we couldn't spend apparently, which saved the owner from getting his checkbook out. Now you want to go and protest to get him out because you wanted to put us into a competition where we would have got more money, could potentially have spent more money. They're fucking deluded. They ain't got a clue what they want.
Corey, I need to get Corey's take on this. Obviously, how do you look at the so-called Big Six? Because your club is chasing Champions League football. You're very much in with a massive chance of getting it. Leicester as well is another club that I brought up as the 2 most likely outside the Big Six to make Champions League football. How was you feeling when it came around, and how are you looking back at it now with all of these Big Six coming back and kind of eating their words 48 hours after leaving?
I've got to be honest, mate. I know you're not going to like it, but with the Chelsea and Cities, them coming out and saying we were pressured into it, they're equally complicit. You don't sign 167 pages worth of documents just to turn around and say we didn't know what we were talking about. The problem is they got caught out. The difference between Man City and Chelsea is they're not reliant on the Super League because they can work on their own basis. Tottenham need it, Arsenal need it, United really need it. They spearheaded it. Those are the ones that they're guilty. But again, the complicit. I mean, and talking about the Super League in general, UEFA aren't guilt-free in this either. The slate of the competition they're throwing out today, I think they said there's some ridiculous rule in there where from 2024, if West Ham finish 5th and United finish 6th or something, United would get Champions League, West Ham would get Europa.
Based on history or legacy or something.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. They're not scot-free from it all. The Premier League definitely aren't. They created a model like this to allow owners to get into the league. You've ended up with it, and they don't like it when the bully boys have come along and bully them into something else. It's disgusting, mate. And from a West Ham perspective, I think people were saying, well, you'd get top 4 or you get Champions League or you want these clubs sanctioned because you get Champions League. It's meaningless. It would mean something, but it wouldn't mean if we won it on merit. So I do think the Premier League have got to have some serious backbone here because whether or not they went or not, whether or not they renegated on it, the reality is they broke the rules. Premier League says you can't take an agreement out with another institution. They did it. Throw the book at them. You're not going to relegate them because the Premier League need it. And I'm not stupid enough to think that they're going to get rid of Man City, United, Tottenham. But throw enough at them, mate. Make them suffer for it, 100%. Or put some reform in. Do what the Germany clubs do. Do 50+1 or whatever it is. That's what you're going to have to do.
When you say make them suffer for it, though, who's going to suffer? Are you good? Because if you punish those clubs, you're punishing the fans. Yeah, you're punishing the Premier League. You're punishing the players. You're punishing.
Let's be real. Nobody's signing up for the Premier League package if it's Burnley against fucking Sheffield United, mate. I'm not trying to be elitist with the club side of it.
No, I get it. That's the whole point of it.
But nobody's going to sign up without them Big Six in there.
No, I agree. I completely agree. I'm saying in terms of making it difficult unfortunately, it is tough. But I think when you look at other clubs that have gone into administration that have broken rules, they've been deducted points. The fans have to suffer from that. Really always been you can't just say for the Big Six. And listen, I do get it because it's a sticky point, isn't it? If our owners went and did something, I wouldn't, as a West Ham fan, want to be punished for it. But where do you draw the line? You got to try and put something down, whether it's to hurt these teams next season or whatever. But it won't happen because the Premier League is a product.
But my thing is this, though, Corey. My thing is this, though. We've already rubbished the the rules that they were trying to put in place, and rightly so. It's ridiculous. The whole concept of you get an automatic qualification and not having to essentially try to do so through merit in the league is ridiculous, and I'm happy that it's been scrapped. But they weren't trying to those big six clubs. They weren't trying to break away from the Premier League. What they were trying to do is they were trying to take the power away from UEFA. Yeah, they've just gone about it the wrong way, which is what I was saying to you, Matisse.
And now UEFA suddenly come out and said there's an extra £4 billion in the pot for next season. Where they got that from then?
The concept that they were trying to develop, it was not bad. A lot of people are trying to make it out like it was bad. The rules that would have come as a result of that concept was shocking, and the ramifications were terrible. But the concept itself wasn't bad. UEFA are too powerful. The elite competition needs to be more competitive. These are facts. So those are two facts right there. And these bigger teams that are driving the revenue, they're more than entitled to want a bigger share of the pie. So
and that's a great point as well. Sorry to cut you off, right? Without these 6 teams in the Premier League, there is no fucking Premier League. Yeah, no disrespect to West Ham and everyone else. They'll have a league, but you won't get the sponsorship deals because, and this is not like trying to slag off smaller teams or anything. Yeah, this is down to Sky Sports and the Premier League killing football off anyway. So they've got an audacity to sit on Sky crying. Rio Ferdinand sat there on BT Sports saying, "Oh, it's all about the glamour ties. They're just trying to do glamour ties." He said that on a cup semi-final when he's on £4 million a year. People are saying, and this is what people don't understand either, right? When people are saying it's a closed shop and you don't get relegated, have people forgotten when football was invented, it was a closed shop and you didn't get relegated? And you didn't get promoted? Has everyone forgotten that? Or didn't they know that? Or are they just ignorant to it? Right? Then people are saying, oh, but it's the ones with the most money. Well, that's why we set up the Premier League, right? The 5 that broke away set up the Premier League because they didn't want ITV drip feeding a little bit of money here. So they took that package. Our guy and Alan Sugar and Greg Dyke took it to fucking Sky Sports and got nearly 200 million quid out of it. Yeah, which has then elevated the Premier League. That package is now worth 5 billion over the 3-year contract. Back then it was 200. This is my point, right? When people are sitting there saying, "Oh, Gary Neville saved football," fucking turn it in. Yeah, Gary Neville has taken his League 2 team, Salford, and pays them 4 times what any other team in that league is paying their players. He's got a fucking cheek. Right, when Rio Ferdinand's crying about, oh, the pyramid. Well, why didn't you get 100 grand out your pocket and save Berry, mate? Yeah, why didn't you do that then? Because if you cared about the pyramid, yeah, he's sitting there talking about grassroots and this and that. Why don't he forego his £4 million salary and go and pump it all into grassroots then? Because he gets paid more than all of them football clubs combined. Yeah, and he's got but basically what this is multi-millionaires crying about multi-billionaires.
Yeah, can I just add though? These clubs were not just trying to go against UEFA. These clubs also wanted to protect their current status. That is so clear to me. So when you have this big 6 that, by the way, is not so called the big 6 anymore because they're getting broken up more often than not these days. Arsenal down in the league, Tottenham down in the league, West Ham rising up, Leicester rising up with good ownership or good scouting. Everton have a lot of money now. They're afraid to lose that so-called big 6 tag because they know they're not guaranteed Champions League football.
Now it's a big 6. And this is the thing.
They're not guaranteed Champions League football every season. So to say that they were just trying to go up against UEFA, probably, yeah, but they were also trying to make sure that they held their status. Yeah,
but we just said that, no? We just said that, though. That was where this whole thing completely collapsed. The fact that point you just made is spot on. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying, in addition to there being too much greed, them trying to make too much money, they were trying to protect their own. They were trying to protect their own club.
Yeah, but that's my point. This is why the Premier League formed in the first place, for the exact same reasons. Yeah,
but you can never do that because there's been other big 6 teams. There's been Nottingham Forest, Blackburn. So how can you just now at this point in time in history?
The 5 teams that broke away to form a Premier League under our vice chairman David Dean at the time, if you Google who founded the Premier League, it'll come up David Dean. He was our vice chairman at the time. Yeah, he then brought in Stan Kroenke to the club and introduced him. Sold his shares to Usmanov. Usmanov then sold his shares to Kroenke, who owns the club. So when people say, like this week, I've seen people go, "Oh, it's all about greed. It's been about greed since David Dean formed the Premier League."
This is it.
That's why I'm so shocked that these teams have now got so much more money and become so much more powerful that they're telling UEFA, stick it. Why are people surprised by that?
Matisse, the point you made is spot on. And as I said, that is the sickening part. When you add that rule in about these clubs retaining their place no matter what, it completely destroys the whole concept of football. Completely destroys it. What is the point? What do you have to play for if you know your spot is guaranteed? If you've missed out on the league title and you know your spot is guaranteed, you basically have nothing to play for. It literally reduces the product that we have to watch. It reduces the competitiveness on the pitch, and it just completely rubbishes football. So that part,
seems like West Ham that are trying to get in Champions League, right? And Southampton and Everton and other teams that have tried to get Wolverhampton Wanderers a few years got into Europa League. People are saying it's unfair because of the smaller teams, right? Well, if it's been unfair since fucking football was invented, because the team with the most money normally wins the league.
True, but the gap between what they would. This is what I hate about the whole premise of it was these Premier League clubs, these owners thought, right, we're going to compete in the Premier League. We want to have our cake and eat it. Basically, Premier League's most affluent league in the world. What we're going to do is we're going to go over there. We're going to get 300 mil a year. Then we're going to come back and compete against you. There is no way, even if that was allowed, West Ham would ever get into would even be able to compete. Because people are saying, well, we'd rest our players because we'd have Madrid next week. No, you wouldn't. You'd have 50 men's squads. You'd have ridiculous infrastructure.
And West Ham,
we can't compete with it.
And West Ham,
but that's my point. West Ham can't compete with Man City now, though, Corey. That's my point.
But West Ham would have to. Yeah, but at least
the gap would be too much.
You can see a freak story every now and then with Leicester. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's once in how long?
Yeah, I know it happens once in a blue moon, but it's possible. Like, the percentage with this just drops even more. And I think the fact that they tried to shut off, I mean, West Ham would have to climb even higher in the league to get into the European Super Cup because there's only five spaces available.
To be a fair and level playing field, because I've said this before, right? Like the only sports where you actually see the best player win are probably golf and tennis. Yeah? That's where like the best golfer will win the tournament normally. Yeah, the best golfer on that particular golf course for them 4 days will win the tournament. The best tennis player over the course of that week will win the tournament normally. With football, it's not the best. It's the one with the most money. Yeah, so if all of these fans are in there outcrying, having protests here and protests there, well, listen, if you want a level playing field, how about put a cap on wages? Yeah, how about put a cap on spending? How about say every club can spend in the Premier League a maximum of 100 million every window? Yeah. How about put a cap on that there can't be any player in the Premier League that earns more than 100 grand a week? Yeah. Then you'll see who the best teams are, because then everyone's on a level playing field. It's never been a level playing field. Yes, the gaps have got bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're only going to get bigger and bigger because Arsenal can get Adidas to give us 300 million quid over 5 years. West Ham can't do that. Why? Because they haven't got that, the last 20 years of Champions League. You haven't had the spending power to get into the Champions League because you didn't have the fan base in terms of the size of the stadium. Then you didn't have the global reach of fans, which is why West Ham have not been able to get into the Champions League. Because if you go back through the last 25 years of the Premier League, we have probably spent 8 to 10 times more than West Ham, which is why we were continually in the Champions League. Chelsea have come along with Abramovich and just gone, bosh, have £1 billion. Man City have come along, bang, have £1 billion. Yeah, and the teams that are the top 6 are the ones that are notorious for spending the most money. Tottenham are the same. Tottenham spend money.
Until recently, no, we've only spent money recently. We
still done over 100 million quid in transfer windows.
What's that?
You can take Gareth Bale money out of it, but you still did over 100 million quid that summer.
Yeah, because that's net. But that's
no.
You need to look at the net. You need to look at the net spend because Tottenham didn't spend any money for
there's no such thing in football as net transfer spend.
There is, Lee. There is.
It's club net spend, not trophy net spend, not transfer net spend. It is club net spend. There is no such thing as transfer net spend at a football club.
There definitely is.
Go and have a look on your club's accounts, mate. It don't say transfer net. It says club net.
One second.
I get your point. But we don't spend though. It's a fact. We don't spend because spend. Well, we do. We don't have we only spend what we make. Do you get what I'm saying? And if we don't make a lot of money, we don't spend a lot of money. And sometimes, even when we make money, we don't spend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is why you're where you're at.
Just let me get through some of these super chats because I have to catch up here. I've noticed, Shaka says, I've noticed Chelsea and City fans are the only fan base not wanting their club owners out. They're more worried about going back into the dark days. Two points, right? Of course, those owners we have a lot of loyalty to because they brought our clubs up from absolutely nowhere near where we are currently as a financial institution. But also, just like Klopp finishing wherever he's going to finish in the league, they've got more credit in the bank. Then Kroenke does, then Levy does, then Glazers does, and does FSG. No, hold on. Let me finish my point. You as fan bases wanted your
Levy's
owners
not even
out.
the owner.
You as your fan bases wanted your owners out long before the Super Cup thing was ever introduced. So you already hated your owners. You already knew what it was. Okay, so our owners have made an absolute blunder. But in comparison, when Roman is helping out the NHS, when the Manchester City owner is putting money back into the surrounding areas of Manchester around that club and building up the facilities, and they're showing that they have not always been greedy bastards in terms of the way that they treat the fans and they treat the club. Yes, they've been pricks in this instance, but they've got a lot more credit in the bank than a Kroenke, who is literally not giving two shits about Arsenal since he's been there. Then a Levy, who's just sacked Jose Mourinho.
The summer before and the summer before and the summer before, because they weren't there, mate. So when they want to sit there and jump on a hype train now, because it's getting mad traction all over the internet. Oh, let's do a protest on Friday. Well, Turkish and me last summer were tweeting every single day, we care for you. Yeah? Nobody give a shit because it was trust the process. Who runs the process, Matisse? The fucking owner they don't like. It makes no sense. They're backward, twisted fucks, mate. They just jump, and I'm sorry, they are. I don't care. They just jump on a fucking hype, yeah, to go and get their mugs on TV or fucking AFTV to go and get an interview with them. It is fucking embarrassing. I've seen Tim Payton, yeah, our AST leader, coming out going, oh, I'm going on Sky Sports today. Oh, I'm going on this radio station today. Wait, you sit in front of Josh Kroenke every year at the meeting and have said fuck all for 10 years. Yeah? Now you want to be the face. Turn it in. If they really wanted this owner out, yeah, they would have gone on Turkish's protest 2 years ago that I was promoting and helping him. I didn't agree with it, but I still helped him and promoted it. Yeah.
To play devil's advocate, maybe they feel like they're now to play devil's advocate now that they've seen Chelsea's protest or they've seen everybody kind of like Glazers. They've got one on Saturday with the Man United fan base. Saeed is quite a big part of that one. Maybe they feel like, oh, now that the protest is actually realistic. Or some of them, you know, you have to remember these fan bases are full of different ages and whatever. A lot of the fan bases, you know, the Arsenal fan base in particular took a long time to really understand that maybe Wenger needs to leave because of emotional ties and whatnot. Okay, let me ask you. A lot of your fan base is quite young. Maybe they just didn't process what was going on, and now they've had an epiphany.
Cool. I get all of that, Matisse. I get all of that. There's 60,000 fans can sit in the Emirates. Yeah, let's say how many fucking turn up tomorrow then, or Friday. Yeah, let's say how many really want this owner out, because it's all well and good hyping on Twitter. I've been there on Wenger out protests. I even held a banner with Kroenke out over the fucking Armoury. Yeah, about 6 years ago. Guess what? He's still here, isn't he? Yeah? Do you know what I'm saying? And this is my point, yeah? It's all well and good. And with the Wenger out protest, if you had gone by what Twitter was telling you, you'd think there was 20,000 marching down the Hornsey Road. We get there and there's 350 people max. Tomorrow there'll be, or Friday there'll be a few more than that. There's 60,000 people can go to that stadium. Let's see how many fucking turn up on Friday, because they'll turn up if it's a football match. Yeah? So it's all good typing on Twitter. Let's see if it's the ones that can go to the games of actually fucking gonna turn up. Let's see how many of them.
You know it is, Matisse. I have no qualms with people protesting. I'm even glad that like the European Super League is not coming to existence in the format that they were proposing. But what I don't like is people not keeping the same energy with issues that were happening in football before this European Super League came into effect. Gary Neville going on Sky Sports, crying his eyes out. Sky Cabe or whatever his name is from Sky saying football's won and stuff. Sky, who were trying to charge fans £15 per game to watch their team a couple months back, yeah. FIFA, who are putting a World Cup in Qatar, disrupting a whole regular season
6,500 people have died.
Imagine the chaos. Imagine the chaos that's going to cost. And we all know why it's happening in Qatar. So to say, as I said, I have no qualms with the energy that people have applied. Keep the same energy with UEFA. Keep the same energy with FIFA. Keep the same with all of these corporations that are effectively doing what the ESL are trying to do, but on a much smaller scale. Are we gonna keep the same energy or what? Because the Champions League format as well, that's coming into practice, or due to come into practice in 2024. Of course, we hated the idea of sides not being dropped out of the European Super League. But in this new format, you have 2 or 3 legacy spots that go to sides who have missed out on Champions League qualification. And bang, they move up into the Champions League for what? Like,
if people really want to protest, don't buy a shirt. Snap the season ticket in off. Don't do it. Don't go to the game in May when we play. This is where I'll have a problem with this, right? Because I know for a fact some of these people that are going to turn up on Friday and protest against the owner will be sat there taking selfies. Oh, I've missed my second home when we're playing at home against Brighton on the last day of the season. Absolute hypocrites. If you want to protest, don't pay a single penny to that football club. Cancel your Sky subscription, cancel your BT subscription, don't buy a t-shirt, don't buy a season ticket. Yeah, you've made your protest. If there's no fans out of the 10,000 that can go on that game, if there's not a single fan in that ground, that makes a bigger statement than a few hundred people turning up on Friday. But they won't, because like I said, it's all about clout on Friday, isn't it?
Toby, I'll let you respond to this super chat from OS. It's going a bit back in the conversations. I'll just
tell me where this comes from. Spurs are bums and don't win. This literally doesn't make sense. We finished in the top 6 for like 13 years straight. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Literally talking rubbish. We've literally finished in the top. We've literally finished in the top 6 teams in England for like 12, 13 years straight.
Yeah. What did you win in that time? What did you win in that time?
Yeah, but I know that we haven't won anything. But
so how can you be classed as a big club then? What, for finishing 5th?
I don't think we're a big club though, Lee. I never said we're a big club. I don't think Spurs are a big club. I'm not one of these Spurs fans who go, Spurs are this. We're not a big club. We aspire to be a big club, and we're trying to do things to get us that big club status. But we are not a big club now. All I've said is the job is bigger than Scott Parker. The job is bigger than Graham Potter. It is. That's not me waffling. It just is.
Yeah, you've just admitted you're not a big club. So why would a big club manager want to come to a smaller club?
But the managers I've named, are they big club managers? Is Brendan Rodgers a big club manager?
But you said he ain't coming.
He isn't coming, but he's a manager I want. He isn't coming, but he's a manager I want. Is he a big club manager?
Well, why do you want him then?
Because he's a good manager, bro. He's a very good manager.
You're striving to be a big world-class team, but now you just want a good manager in Brendan Rodgers.
No, to be fair to Brendan Rodgers,
Brendan Rodgers has upside. In fact, it's not even. He's a very good manager.
To be fair to Brendan Rodgers, Brendan Rodgers has been shown for quite a few years that he could step up to the next level, and it's very similar to when Pochettino was at Southampton. He was outperforming his expectations. So every manager has to come from somewhere. Not every manager just starts at the top. You can't just always go for top managers. Sometimes there is up and coming managers, just like there's up and coming players. I think Brendan Rodgers would be a ridiculous coup. I don't think it's possible because I think if he's looking at the structure, I would love it. And he's looking at the structure of Leicester, I don't see why he would leave.
Right. If you can't see, go on.
But yeah, I think Brendan Rodgers would be an amazing coup for Tottenham. I think that would be, that's a manager for me. I mean, Lee, we just spoke about a couple of weeks ago how you would take anyone at Arsenal. You're still a big club. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I'd take Graham Potter over Brendan Rodgers.
Oh no, really?
Yeah. What makes sense? Give me one good reason why Brendan Rodgers should get a job at a big football club. He's
already had a job at a big football club.
Leicester are only big in Leicester.
No, I'm talking about Liverpool, bro. When he finished second in the league,
he's literally got Leicester in the top 4.
Yeah, no, he hasn't yet. He hasn't yet.
I know, not yet, but he's got the.
He should have last year and bottled it. He bottled the title with Liverpool, and he's about to bottle another top 4 finish. Why would you want a serial bottle at a football club?
Brendan Rodgers in his first season with Swansea, where did they finish?
Did very well.
I don't know.
The only thing that Brendan basically needs to go and get that FA Cup. If he gets hold of that FA Cup and gets top 4, he'll get a little bit more respect than he does. But for me, like he's done brilliant with Leicester, 100%.
If clubs want their Mr. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but if clubs want their money back, they need their fans. What is the UK gov doing about getting people vaccinated? Vaccinations are available in public. To the public in America now that things are going back to normal. Yeah, the UK are vaccinating people at a good rate. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone, well, I don't know the percentages because I'm not there, not really keeping up with it. But yeah, a lot of people are getting vaccinated. So listen, it's one of them things when Boris Johnson's trying to step in. I mean, people are trying to say Boris Johnson potentially saved football. What is it? What did everybody make it out?
Boris Johnson, Jesus Christ. It's amazing how Boris Johnson wants to change laws and legislation to bother and other things, isn't it?
He just was worrying because he wasn't going to get a piece of the pie, and he wanted a bit of
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Perez. I don't know if anybody got to see Perez's interview. I didn't get to see it, but I heard obviously it's a bit of a shitstorm. The Juventus chairman as well coming out and saying, well, the European Super League can't run obviously without the 6 English clubs. What did you guys make of Perez's interview? Because I'm sure everybody saw the quotes.
He's crazy.
He's crazy.
He's crazy, man.
He was literally saying like, it doesn't, no one's going to pay to watch Liverpool versus Man United, but they'll pay to watch Real Madrid versus Barcelona, but in turn still having 6 English teams and only 3 Spanish ones. He was saying that 18 to 24-year-olds are no longer interested in the sport and that he might like bring down the minutes of the games to make it more entertaining.
Yeah. I think he was drunk. I think he was drunk. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie. It was kind of therapeutic that the same day that his master plan of the European Super League came down was the same day Hitler was born. Like it was incredible. Do you know what I'm saying?
Whoa. Come on, listen, that's a bit extreme.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Come on, that's extreme.
Bro,
Hitler, really?
That's what people were saying on Twitter. The comparisons, I'm not gonna lie, they weren't wild, but I'm sorry.
He's a football villain, of course, but Hitler, come on, people are overdoing it.
But he is a super villain, fam. He is mad. Like the way that he was talking, he was moving like as if he couldn't be touched. Like no one can come out of it.
He can't be touched though, and I'll tell you why he can't be. Do you know the story about when he went to buy Figo from Barca? Do you remember?
About that,
Have you not seen the video doing the round? So basically, he had a 60 million buyout. He had a year left at Barca. He tapped up his agent, done a deal with his agent, and said that Figo would get £2.5 million if he joins Real Madrid. Like he'll get £2.5 million up front plus his wages. Yeah, right. Well, Perez twisted up Barca so differently, that if Barcelona didn't sell him, they'd have to pay £30 million to Madrid as compensation. So you either pay us 30 million and keep him, or we're buying him off you, mate. So the headline read, Barcelona, because he said that if he didn't sign Figo, every season ticket holder can come for free next season. Yeah. So the headline in Spain was Barcelona fund Real Madrid season tickets. And so in the end, he bowed down and buckled Barcelona, and Figo ended up at fucking Madrid, mate. Mad. And we're thinking that's not already tapped up. Like, come on.
He wasn't even that good at Madrid as well.
Exactly, because he didn't want to be there, but he had to be there.
So Lee, I mean, obviously you want Kroenke out. The Man United fans want Glazers
out. No.
Hang
on. Let me just, because a lot of people like think I'm Kroenke out, and then other people think I'm Kroenke in. Bruv, I genuinely could not give 2 shits who the owner of the football club is. Real talk. And the reason I don't care.
What have you given up?
Yes, ideally I'd like a Roman Abramovich, of course, but this like notion of like, oh, if he goes, we're going to get an owner in that's going to come in and spend billions of pounds. Well, hang on, ain't that the reason we've just tried to cancel the Super League? Yeah, people are so deluded, man. So backwards, it is mad. I personally, look, I don't just jump on a wave. I like to sit back and do my homework, and then I come up and form my own opinion. Right now, with the Kroenkes, we have spent more money than only Man United have outspent us. Yeah, in the last 3 seasons. So we're competing with the biggest club on the planet, or at least one of the top 3 biggest clubs on the planet. Yeah, people say, yeah, but none of that's come out of his pocket. Well, why would it? We moved to be self-sufficient. We're self-sufficient, right? That's how football went. Self-sufficiency was the key, which is why Chelsea don't spend stupid amounts anymore out of the owner's pocket. And you've gone down the more making it a business type route, like and keeping it balanced. Yeah, Man City are doing the same. So this notion that a billionaire is going to come and buy Arsenal and it's going to save us and we're going to elevate up to be this great world club fucking class team again is a load of fucking bollocks. Yeah, so listen, I don't particularly like him, but when we moved stadium, he weren't even the owner of the club. When we moved stadium, he didn't own one share at the club. This whole moving stadium thing has been put on him. Bollocks. He weren't even at the club. The reason we moved stadium is because of exactly what's happened in the last few days, the Super League. Yeah, so I'm not.
It was planned for what, 2009, was it?
Kroenke couldn't give a fuck. That's why. Like, how is it going to change what I'm watching by getting him out and getting another billionaire in? Because he's still going to want to make it self-sufficient. Because there's still going to be guidelines in play to make the club self-sufficient. For FFP, people are going, "Oh, it's been relaxed." Whoopee. It's still, if we go and do 500 million in the summer and 500 million the next, watch how quick that club goes bankrupt. Yeah, and watch how quick financial fair play come down, because it ain't disappeared, because we'll be financially doping, yeah, and putting transfer fees through the roof. So, listen, yes, he's a big problem, yeah, but there's a lot of big problems at this football club, and if you add them all together, that's why I know my club's dead. Yeah, I'm genuinely.
Go through all of them with us. What's the list?
Well, all the problems. The fans.
I mean, just the list, problem.
Yeah. The fan base is the biggest problem. For
the
15
biggest.
years, yeah, they have allowed, and I'm part of this as well, yeah, 3 of these every summer. Yeah, it used to be one every other year.
As well, I was mentioning it, yeah.
Season tickets, yeah. They've gone up and up and up and up and up. They're now £1,000 is the cheapest season ticket. So when the fans want to sit and tell people trust the process, this is the process by the owner you're going to protest about. You need to make your minds up. What do you want? Yeah, you've told me for years, oh, but Wenger, give him another go. He's getting top 4. He's getting top 4. Systematically lowering the standards of the football club. Yeah. Now the fans want to pull the high and mighty one about, oh, we've got standards at this club. Yeah, the standards were finishing 3rd loser. Yeah, that's the standards. Yeah. Then you can go to the likes of Arteta. Yeah. Why is he in the job? The standards again, gutter. Then you go to Edu. Why is he in the job? Oh, because he was a bench player in the Invincible season. What the fuck does he know about signing players? Yeah. It's true. Then you've got the owner and his son. The owner don't know nothing about the football at all. He barely goes. His son knows a bit more, but again, barely goes. They couldn't give a toss. So if you put all of that together, yeah, and then people crying about, oh, the money. This club earns more money than most clubs on the planet. Yeah, but then they've got the audacity to charge £1,000 for a cheapest season ticket. And then when we go back to games, or fans are allowed in the ground again, instead of it being £5.50 for a pint of watered down fucking crap drink, yeah, they'll charge £7.50, and people are pay it. So when people say that I'm on the fans' case all the time, don't pay it, don't go. If you want to see change at a football club, the easiest
take the money out
to do that is not spend a penny on it. Yeah, watch how quick you get change, but they won't, because it's all about the get along gang that all want to be the super sweet toxic. I'm the best fan on social media type person. There's fucking thousands of them on social media, mate. Yeah, they're part of the issue.
This super chat saying the one cut Tottenham could have got is the ESL. That's not even true, to be honest. I think they would have had less chance of winning that than the Champions League, to be honest.
Agreed.
Yeah, so apart from money,
man in the chat said I'm a Kroenke fanboy. Mate, rewind this about 4 minutes and listen again, you absolute waster. Yeah.
Honestly, some people in the chat they have no manners, man. Come on.
Some people in the chat don't have any idea about football clubs and how they work. They just go, everyone's jumping on KroenkeOut, so why ain't Lee doing it? Number one, I'm not a fucking sheep. I've got my own brain. Yeah. And number two, it's not just him that's the issue. Yeah. It's easier to get rid of managers than it is to get rid of an owner. Good luck trying to get rid of him. I hope it works. Genuinely do. Yeah. But to think that the next owner's coming in and it's going to be miles better, don't kid yourselves. Seriously.
Rodrigo, you said I missed your super chat. Just put it in, bro, without the super chat function. I'm looking out for it now. Sorry about that.
I swear people are thick. Can I just point this one comment out? Mustafa, stop buying merchandise then instead of telling us to stop buying merchandise. Bruv, I'm not crying about fucking owner, am I, you dick? Seriously, mate, I'm fed up with these fucking hypocrites chatting shit, mate. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not sitting here bleating about the owner. So if I want to go and do 70 quid on a shirt, I will. Yeah. All you lot that are crying about the owner will still go and do the 70 quid. Seriously.
Lee versus Macona. live on my channel.
It's mad. Bro, it just pisses me off. If all these people that just want to jump on a hype and say about the owner are the same people that are going to be sat in the fucking stadium next season. So don't tell me shit about the owner.
Mad. Man, everybody woke up and chose violence today.
Mate, I've woke up and chose fucking sick of people's bullshit, mate. That's what I've woke up. I'm sick of it. People telling me how to support my football club that I've supported while they were floating around their old man's sacks. Fuck off. Seriously. And on that bombshell, I'm going to get a drink. I'll be back in a minute.
You know what I've got on the background. I know we're going to talk about it, but Lord.
Go on.
The way I'm gonna pam you expeditiously, Corey.
Oh, do you know what? I knew you were. I knew you were.
The way I'm gonna pam you because you were talking so much.
50 minutes. I thought we were gonna coast past it. This Super League was the best thing to happen because of that.
Yeah, nice distraction.
The way you were talking so much shit. Dawson. This is the guy who
hold the clip. You're so lucky I didn't run the clip.
Bro, you should have run it.
I completely forgot.
Imagine, Matisse. This is a Craig Dawson who Watford fans wanted rid of last year. They found him terrible. They found this guy terrible. They found this guy terrible. And now, because, yes, credit to him, he's played well at West Ham. He's done his thing. But he's not a good player. He's not a good player. And that got you gassed. And now look at you.
I could only take what I saw. And I just thought he had a good couple of games.
But that's the point, though. You only saw it for like 2 months. 2 months. What about the season before when the side got relegated? What about then? What about then? And Fabianski as well. Fabianski, I actually think Fabianski is a reasonably solid goalkeeper, but he makes mistakes. Fabianski makes mistakes. So when you were saying, "Oh yeah, he doesn't make mistakes," I was like, "What?"
He barely.
Makes mistakes, bro.
All I'm saying is right. When he played for Arsenal, yeah, and even Swansea, he made so many errors, right? And I'm only talking in 3 years at West Ham, he's probably made 3. And Leno, we're going on. It was because it was Fabianski versus Leno. Leno kicked it at Chris Wood. It went in the net. Do you know what I mean? It happens, but the timing's horrendous. I've got to be honest.
No, listen, don't get it twisted. Fabianski is a way better keeper than he was at Arsenal and Swansea. Like, I actually think Fabianski, on his day, he's a good goalkeeper. But goalkeepers make mistakes, bro. And Fabianski is one of them. I think it's now rare finding a goalkeeper in the league who doesn't make mistakes. Yeah. The best of the best goalkeepers make mistakes. That was the point being made. And Fabianski makes mistakes.
1 second.
It's
I need to leave and come back there.
It's simple.
Go on, do it. Go on, Matisse. I know you're trying to find it.
Matisse has gone. He's trying to find the clip.
You know what? Like, forget how bad that game was. Forget how bad that game was for West Ham. When those goals went in, I was just thinking about what I'd said, and I thought, you know what?
You were.
When Fabianski flapped it, I went. All I could hear is Flappy Hansky in the back of my head, and I was thinking, no, it's happened. I can't believe it.
Good.
You know, I'm getting that clip, Corey.
Do it. Go on, do it.
Lord. Don't you love it when someone says something and it just comes back in your face? Because I remember these are on the Big Six. I said something about Joe Willock. He scored, and I just kept seeing Joe Willock all over my socials. Oh man.
You know I'm getting that clip, boy. I'm sorry. I can't believe I forgot, fam. Oh my goodness.
I'm saying your squad quality.
Our squad quality is better than the team that are sat fourth. No disrespect to West Ham and Corey and that, but our squad quality is better than theirs.
Yeah, it is.
Our squad.
Corey, whose squad are you taking, Corey?
I think I'm taking ours, obviously, but I think our whole defence is better.
No, it isn't.
Defensive midfielders are better.
No, how is the whole defence?
Let's go. No, wait. I'll caveat.
Fabianski or Leno? Who are you taking? Shit. I'm taking Leno.
Fabianski's shit.
No. Corey, state your case, Corey. I'm interested to see.
Because you know what? The season. He doesn't make any errors. He doesn't make any errors. He saved us again on Sunday.
Yes, he does make errors. Fabianski makes errors, bro. Yes, he does.
In the past, no, he doesn't. For West Ham, he's made so few.
There's more leadership and mentality in Declan Rice and Noble alone than that whole Arsenal squad. That's something that you can't quantify.
That's horrible.
Go on, explain yourself then. Go on.
Oh my God, fam. I can't believe it.
It's the timing, though. It's the timing. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to pipe up. I reckon it's the first time in a long time West Ham might be able to compete with Arsenal, and it just fell flat. I was like, but yeah, I got to look the Dawson thing.
Listen, if Neymar does a hat trick in the Champions League final, I'm bringing that Mahrez clip as well.
Yeah, I want these to be a stick.
If Mahrez scores the winner against PSG, you better sit back down, bro.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine if that happens? Oh my God! I might just do that, where we just clip each other now every show. I just use that as the intro. Whoever had the maddest opinion the week before. Obviously, that's the next clip. Is the bet obviously after the cup final? When is the cup final for Manchester City versus Tottenham now?
This Sunday.
This Sunday, yo, fam. Next show, someone's gonna owe someone 50.
Yeah, I'll be getting my hair cut, bruv.
Oh my goodness, honestly. Oh, it's been mad though. It's been mad. I mean, look, that's just too much. In hindsight, no one would have ever said that again. But I like the fact that Corey was sticking up for his team because, like I said, you're in the top 4. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wrong time, man. Any other game, I would have been all right. But it was just that one game straight after I said it. Especially Fabianski, man. He let me down big time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember what the weekend's results were. I mean, I know obviously we played Man City. We spoke about that briefly. West Ham as well. What was going on with Arsenal and Tottenham? I honestly can't remember. It's been
97th minute equaliser against Fulham at home.
And then we got outplayed by Everton. So yeah.
So who wants to start?
I'll let Lee start because I didn't watch that game. Well, I did. I watched the first half. I didn't watch.
Real talk, right? When we equalised, I didn't do a watch along. It was the first game I've watched without doing a watch along for about 3 years, man. Yeah, I was like sitting there thinking, right, get my teeth into this one. Yeah, leaning back on the sofa. Yeah, just chilling. And it was single-handedly one of the worst performances I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of bad ones this season. It was right up there. And when they scored, I swear I said this, when they scored, I went, you jammy bastards, when we scored in the 97th minute. I was like, you jammy bastard. Bro, I don't care. Like, people are saying, oh, you're fake, you're this. Listen, shut up. Yeah, at the end of the day, we deserved nothing out of that game. Yeah, and we got lucky. Yeah, and people celebrating a draw. Like the scenes I have seen of people on social medias jumping around, screaming and shouting, yes, we've equalised. It's Fulham. Thierry Henry, the famous quote of one of our greatest ever players, said when we won the league at White Hart Lane, he goes, Tarico's jumping around. He goes, that shows the mentality. They're celebrating a draw. Yeah. Now fast forward to 2021, Arsenal fans are jumping for joy at celebrating a draw. Eddie Nketiah actually didn't bother going and picking the ball up. He runs straight off and cupped his ears like this. Yeah. And started giving it the big one like he'd scored the Champions League final winner, bruv. That shows the mentality of this football.
That was like Dan James when he scored that equaliser, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly the same, bro. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. And like, there's a lot of things wrong with this football club. Yeah, some of the players are part of it as well. But bro, to be celebrating a draw at a team that are in bottom 3 and you've done it in the last minute of 7 minutes stoppage time and you're at home, it's actually embarrassing. And running off, it's embarrassing, man. Yeah, it's embarrassing. And people say, there's a guy said Lee stuck in the 90s.
That game was
that's when we had class and tradition, and that's when we were actually all trying to win titles rather than telling people trust the process. Like, what is the process? Like I said earlier, the process is run by a guy everyone's going to protest against.
That game was a real like proper sign of just how that was the definition of just Arsenal Football Club standards for you. Just saying that if there was a game that defined it, it was that game. This is a really good chat that I missed out, so I really want to get onto it. Wouldn't it be great if these proper Chelsea would protest against racism? Now we have our Chelsea back. Who's going to pay the huge transfer fees? Don't let the mob rule. Listen, I've said this so many times. People that don't experience something in terms of like these guys that you saw out, a lot of them that you saw outside the Chelsea ground. I've been to the Chelsea stadium many times, right? There are racist Chelsea fans. There are racists in any fan base, but you know, you look at the images that you saw, the protest, the crowd. They haven't experienced racism. They experienced their sport being changed for the worse. So of course they're going to protest about it, but they're not. Then I'm never going to expect them, to have the same energy about racism, because they simply, some of them don't care. Let's just be real. Like, they don't care about racism like they care about that, because it doesn't affect them. When you take something that affects everyone or it affects people, they protest about it. They get up in arms about it. If it doesn't affect you, you're less likely to protest. Of course, there's people where it doesn't affect, where they protest and they're very angry about it. Fantastic. But a lot of the people in that crowd, in that scene, don't care about it because it doesn't affect them. It's the same with UEFA. They don't care about racism. It doesn't affect them. So they don't do anything about it. It doesn't affect their pocket. So why would they talk about it? Why would they sanction it? Why would they, do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is a pipe dream, unfortunately. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen, you know, because the majority of that, you know, match-going fan base, they don't care. Let's just keep it 100. Do you know what I'm saying? Even the big, you know, supporters groups, and I've dealt with them before previously in terms of, you know, speaking with them and whatnot, or calling them out, you know. I'm well aware that when it comes to these groups that represent some of our fan bases, they are not going to heavily put out speeches on racism as they are, and hold the energy the same as they are with something like happened over the last few days. That is just the fact of the matter. The only way to change that, I'm afraid, is to put more people in these positions that care about the issue. Do you know what I'm saying? How many black people are on the board of the Chelsea Supporters Trust or whatever, like, or whoever? How many people are in those positions of power or that can have a voice and can raise these issues? Not many. Do you know what I'm saying? Not many at all. So that's the way of the world, and it goes for, that's not just football, that's society. If you don't put people of hardship in positions of where they can speak up, then why would you expect people that don't experience that to speak up for them? It's unrealistic. It's not going to happen. You know, how many black people are on the UEFA board or on the FIFA board? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's at board level. Racism is in all areas of football. It's in the very same fans. Some of the very same fans who are protesting, saying the game's gone, etc., are the same fans who will go to a game and will hurl racial abuse at a player. Some managers, some coaches, we've seen racial bias. We've seen it at board level, etc. It's prevalent across all areas of the football pyramid. I just think they just need to start. It's not simple, but they need to start making people, teams, etc., financially accountable for any sort of racial incident. You've seen the chaos that the European Super League is cost when money's on the line, etc. If we want that same energy replicated for racism, put things that are actually going to really hurt people on the line.
Yeah.
Mate, they do this campaign, Kick It Out, yeah? If they wanted to kick it out, there was a prime example the other day where the guy who racially abused Kamara got a 10-game ban. If they wanted to kick it out, they would have banned him for life.
Yeah. That shocking. Yeah, exactly. They
should have just banned the Slavia Prague. They should have just taken them out of Europe straight away. They shouldn't have even played it when that happened. They shouldn't have even played Arsenal.
I slightly disagree with that, because you can't pin the whole team. That's not on the whole team.
But
it was on the individual.
Earlier, the same way there was corruption with Juventus and they got deducted points and they went down to Serie B. That wasn't the whole team, but sometimes you have to punish the whole team for everybody.
That guy should have been banned for life. If they want to kick racism out, ban him for life and kick it out.
Yeah,
but they didn't, and Trippier got more game ban for telling his mates to go and stick a bet on something. Like,
but they're more annoyed about betting stuff, aren't they, than actual racism?
Again, money. Again,
yeah, exactly.
So, this super chat here, a really good one again. This is why I didn't want to pin the blame on Bruce Buck, because I don't know, and I don't think I'm ever going to find out who was, you know, the leader of that in the Chelsea camp, or who really pushed it, or I don't know who was the main culprit. Do you know what I'm saying? Because some are saying Chelsea fans are coming for Buck because he's American. Yet he genuinely loves the club. He's been here since the beginning of the Roman era. Not every single board member is a crook. We shouldn't force the good ones to resign. 100%. I think A lot of people have just been a bit lazy and they've just said to themselves, yo, Bruce Buck is American, so he must have wanted the Super League and halftime shows and Beyonce to perform. I don't believe that. Do you know what I'm saying? I need evidence. I need someone to... It's very easy to pin it on some people because there is a list. There was a chairman and a co-chairman, and you're not going to be on that co-chairman list unless you are actually fully on it. So that is an easy list to go for. For me, you have to start with that list. You have to start with that list because that's just plain and simple. Those are the people that were willing to run it. They were going to be the ones that benefit the most from it. You can't tell me that a league run by Perez, where Real Madrid participated, wasn't going to be corrupt. You can't tell me that these founding chairmen weren't going to be some sort of corruption. It's not possible. That's a conflict of interest when you've got your club competing in a competition that you're running. That can't happen. It's nuts. But people, I mean, is there anything else you guys want to discuss? I don't want to make this one too long because my last 2 streams have been like 3 hours and 2 hours. So God help the people. God help the people on the playback who couldn't really go back through all of it. Any other topics you guys want to get off your chest?
Hopefully we win tonight. Ryan Mason's first game. Hopefully we win tonight.
Who are you playing? Palace? Is it Palace?
Nah, Southampton at home.
Okay. Well, you should win.
I guess the last topic I'll bring up is that obviously the Liverpool game was poor. The Chelsea game was even worse. You know what I'm saying? For me, I think I nearly fell asleep. Brighton should have won that.
I heard it was terrible.
It was awful, bro. Like Brighton really should have won. They hit the post and yada yada yada. Do you think the players? Because a lot of people are being sympathetic and saying, listen, let's just kind of just rule it out and say, listen, the last 48 hours for football or anybody involved in football has been quite mad. Potentially they're not focused on the game. Obviously the protests and the bus turning up late, it messes up with the finer percentages that make you on your game as a footballer at the highest level. Are you guys as sympathetic with the Liverpool players, the Chelsea players, or do you feel like, nah, you guys are just trash?
I think it's a bit of both. I think, of course, it's going to play on the players' minds, but ultimately Liverpool should have lost to Leeds because Leeds were playing. Leeds are one of the sides who aspire to one day crack into the top 6 or whatnot, or qualify for Champions League football. So they would have been impacted by the European Super League decision. They were playing and they should have beat Liverpool. Brighton, I didn't watch a game, but I saw highlights. They had chances to win. So I think it's a bit of both. I think you can't just put it down to the European Super League because fundamentally those sides didn't play well enough. But then again, you lot played on Saturday. Might be tired legs. I don't know. You lot have had a pretty hectic schedule. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I have to ask them, would you be a sympathetic to Tottenham or would you be 50-50 with them if they weren't to put in a performance tonight, or do you think that's just redundant?
I wouldn't be sympathetic, no, because we've just sacked the manager. We've seen poor performance after poor performance after poor performance. There needs to be a reaction tonight. They need to come out and they need to get a result tonight, and they need to get the confidence level at a higher position heading into that cup final.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's it, really. I mean, listen, the cup final is... I'm going to be tuning into that because obviously there's always money on the line in sport. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dear. I'll make sure I text you my bank details before kickoff, yeah?
What's your percentage?
What was the bet against? So I bet £50 that we wouldn't win, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't win it, yeah.
Yeah, but this is my money manager, bro, yeah? You must be worried now because Ryan Mason could potentially get them right up for it and win it.
I hope so. I would happily take it.
Either way, it's a win-win for you, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Lee, in terms of percentages, of your confidence level has gone down now, I guess.
Oh, yeah, man. If you ever want somebody in a one-off game to be the man that wins you that, it's Jose Mourinho, bruv. Look. Well, we'll never know that, will we? We'll never know that, will we?
Flipping hell. He literally lost his last final. He lost his last final.
How many finals has he lost? How many finals in his career?
Yeah, I'm not talking about his record, but what I'm saying is people are this is what I'm saying. When we talk about Jose Mourinho, they base it on what he's done historically and not what he's doing presently. That's all.
It's kind of like, I guess the comparison that I would make to try and bridge the gap between you two and your opinions is that it's the comparison of saying that Arsenal should be winning this, that, and the third because you was winning it 10 years ago or 20 years ago, when really you're not at the pinnacle of your powers anymore.
Exactly. It's like saying Wenger. It's like saying there was nobody better place to manage Arsenal than Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
because he won those titles years and years ago. Okay,
That's
but
true.
he's on the wane. He clearly wasn't fit for purpose anymore. The same way Jose Mourinho wasn't fit for purpose at Spurs.
That's true.
So,
that's a good comparison.
But now you're going into it with a guy who's never managed a game in his life.
Yeah, but he's an interim.
It's not my ideal circumstance, but it's better than having Jose Mourinho for me. It is.
I know. Look,
Ryan Mason is not here forever. He's here for 5-6 weeks, and then he's back into his role as head of youth development. Yeah.
The point is for this chat here is that your standards have dropped. Okay, we all know Arsenal are not where they were. You were once in a Champions League final with Barcelona. You were the Invincibles, the Burgundy top. You were winning titles, and now you're just clinging on to FA Cups and Community Shields.
Now it's just vibes, bruv. Like, let's not pretend there and that'll be that. Yeah.
Let's not pretend like the point isn't still standing. You have dropped off. It's the same thing. Yes, you're still winning trophies, but from the moment you're counting Community Shields, in my opinion, you've lost the plot. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna leave.
The West Ham got on the weekend.
Against Chelsea, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Why are we talking about this game?
That is
a big one.
Why are we talking about this game? Let's end it on this game.
I mean, Corey, what's your confidence, bro? Because I'm nervous as shit.
I'm feeling a lot more confident after what I saw from Chelsea last night, to be fair. Like, we're struggling. Like, our injuries are horrific. It's no excuse for the Newcastle game because obviously we touched on Craig Dawson and Fabianski, so we know about that. Willett getting his goal. It's going to be tough, mate. I think there's only like one team that we can basically play against you lot. 5 at the back, 3 in midfield, 2 up front. We need a bit of Lingard magic. I can't see how we're going to get something. I really can't.
You're not confident?
Not
at all. No,
you can't see how the side who are going to finish in the top 4, the 4th best side in the league. You can't see how they're going to get.
With a goalkeeper that don't make mistakes.
Imagine my surprise.
Oh shit!
Imagine my surprise that this top four side can't see
without Declan Rice, without Mikel Antonio, without Aaron Creswell.
Yeah, but your squad's you're tough, right?
You said you were taking your squad over us, mate.
Your squad's better, right? Yeah, you're tough. You're tough, right, Corey?
I can't back it.
Tough, right?
Oh no!
You're tough, right?
I'm being slapped. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not feeling confident about it. I'm just not, right? If we'd had Declan Rice in there, I would have gone, maybe.
Listen.
Antonio, maybe.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
No. I worry about Chelsea's midfield. Is Kovacic still out, Maciej?
Yeah, he will still be out. Yeah.
I get your point, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, in all honesty, West Ham have been a resilient side this season, and I think we spoke about it a couple weeks back. The only thing that was going to potentially derail you, in addition to potentially losing to some of the bigger sides, is injuries, because that's where you lot stumble in it. You don't have a squad like Chelsea's. You don't have a squad like Liverpool's, Man United's, Man City's, etc. Even Leicester, you don't have a squad as good as Leicester. So those core group of players that were churning out those performances, you needed them to play. So the minute some of those vital pieces start coming out, I mean, your captain in the heart of the midfield, gone. Your biggest goal threat outside of Jesse Lingard, gone. Yeah. And Antonio, more than just the goal threat as well. Key to how you play in terms of his work ethic and his ability to hold up the ball as well and bring others into play. It's a lot to lose. So I can understand why you would expect Chelsea to come to your ground and get a result. I'm hoping you don't let them get a result, to be honest, because I'd rather you lot win than Chelsea.
Of course.
We'll compete. But the thing is, like, to be honest, like, even in the games where we've scored these goals, we've been naive. We're getting played through, and it suits us because I imagine Chelsea are going to have a lot of the ball, and when we got space to work into, we're lightning. But when we don't, like against Newcastle, devoid of ideas, can't play through midfield, nothing. It's long term for West Ham. You need to get personnel in there that can play through the lines a bit, play out from the back. Unfortunately, Craig can't do that. So there's problems all over the place. But again, I thought Chelsea were really poor the other day. So if you have an off day and West Ham turn up and we get something and we sit behind the ball, then maybe. But it was always going to be tough anyway, even if we had Declan Antonio. This game and the Leicester game were the 2 games I said, if we get something from them, great. If we don't, fine. Newcastle games where I'm more disappointed. Because we bottled it, basically. We got beat up by Steve Bruce. Yeah. And I can't really get away from it.
What you guys got to remember is why Toby hates Chelsea so much is because, A, we stopped their title run with Leicester when we scored with that.
Didn't stop
goal. And by the way, full credit for that. come on, up the shelves. And then the second one, when we won the Champions League and it kicked them out of the Champions League because they were fourth and we won it, and then they dipped down with Harry Redknapp or something into fifth. Well, they had to play Europa League football. So we have been the thorn in their side. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of emotion there. But from a Chelsea perspective, to wrap up, it's a must-win game. Do you know what I mean? Brighton was must-win. We fucked that up. West Brom was must-win. We bottled that. So those were the games where I said Brighton, West Brom, and Palace, we need 9 points, and we got 4 points. So yeah, we're a bit behind on the tally. So we have to beat West Ham. That's as simple as that. We're level on points with them. It's a straight fight. We have to win. It's simple as that. Nothing else is going to be good enough. We're going to wrap up now, people. Lee, I'll start with you, bro. Any final thoughts, and let the people know where to find you? Streams coming up and whatnot.
Lee Gunner 82, Twitter, Insta, Twitch, Lee Gunner on YouTube, Lee Gunner AFC on Facebook. What have I got coming up? I'm going to do a stream in a bit, probably about 5 o'clock, I'd imagine. Just like talking about what's next. Where do we go from here now? The Super League's gone. Like what's going to happen with football? Where we moving like forward, backwards, etc., etc. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And final thoughts. Football died 20 odd years ago when the Premier League started. So it is what it is. I forgot to plug my OnlyFans.
You still going with that?
Yeah, he's still going with that. Corey, bro, let the people know where to find you, and any final thoughts.
Yeah, Corey Kemp _ on Twitter, West Ham Way on YouTube. If you want to come and dig me out for any West Ham versus Chelsea pre-match content, you're more than happy to pop over. Tell them that Matisse sent you or something like that. But yeah, interesting few days. I'm sure they'll be kicking in and around.
And Toby, yourself, bro, anything coming up? Want to let the people know?
Yeah, I was meant to do a Southampton preview, but such was the chaos in football the last 2 days, I've not had a chance to do it. So I'm probably not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to do a post-match reaction for the Southampton game tonight. And then at 10 p.m., I got a new show launching with some other Spurs content creators as well. So I'm going to talk about that soon as well. So yeah, that's all. Hopefully Spurs win.
Yeah, from myself, I mean, this is obviously just a show for today. Dammy, I'm on Dammy's channel at 4. You guys know him. And then tomorrow, All You Can Eat Chelsea returns. I might have a new weekly show starting up, coming up soon. So look out for that. It's going to be a good one. I'm not going to lie. This is the last piece to this channel that's needed in terms of this one. It will be very, very funny.
Shut up, Matisse, man. Honestly,
I'm not gonna lie. It's needed. You know what I'm saying? After what's gone on in the last 48 hours, I think this is the show that's needed. So yeah, I'll be looking to try and launch that soon. To add to the 2 ones that we got here. And yeah, people, my battery's gonna die. So it's been a great show. We had 1,000 of you in here at one point. Smash the likes. Make sure you go check out the links in the description. Go and subscribe to the boys. And yeah, we'll see you next week for the £50 bet and West Ham versus
£50 bet, not 15. 1-0.
I'll take her out. Everyone out. Laters.
In a bit.